Yes, y'all know what it is, man. Another week of the bird's eye breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Another loss, y'all. Another very disappointing loss. Not just a loss. We ain't showed the fight, man. But if you're not a Burgers fan, hopefully your team did what they had to do, man. If you are a Burgers fan, yeah, I mean, let me know if you feel like the bye week came up at the right time, or if you felt like, no, we need more time to get this thing situated before we take a week off. Let's get into it, man. Let's go through. I put up where did I have it at? I wanted to go over the, quarterback passing yards and stats again, for this week. This week, Brock Purdy takes the lead for passing yards at number 1, Dak Prescott for 2, C.J. Stroud number 3, Baker Mayfield stepped up heavily at number 4, Joe Burrow number 5, Matthew Stafford at number 6, Sam Darnold at 7, Jalen Hurts falls to 8, Patrick Mahomes at 9, and Jayden Daniels at number 10 as far as passing yards go, man. Completion percentage was another one that, Jalen Hurts was pretty high on once you get past all the non-quarterbacks. Let's start at the quarterbacks. We got Jayden Daniels at 82%, 82.1. He having a hell of a year. Matter of fact, shout out to Jayden Daniels for setting an NFL record for having 2 consecutive games of throwing over 80%. You know what I'm saying? NFL record. That's the first time that was ever done. Where is Jalen? Jalen fell down. Wow. Dag. Jalen, I think he was at 70. Now he falls to 68.2 completion percentage. Touchdowns. That didn't do us any good. He only had 1. We got Sam Darnold at number 1, leading the pack with 11 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield at number 2, leading with 8. Josh Allen with 7. Joe Burrow with 7. Derek Carr with 6. Jordan Love with 6. Who had a heck of a game. On both sides. I think he threw for like 4 touchdowns, but then threw for like 3 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes with 6. Kyler Murray with 6. Dak Prescott with 6. C.J. Stroud with 6. And we have Jalen Hurts at 4. 4 touchdowns within the games. Interception-wise, we know Jalen didn't throw an interception this week, but he did have, I believe he had 2 fumbles. For strip sacks, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So, fumble-wise, he remains at 4. But let's get into what we need to get into. Coming off of that very, very disappointing game. Let's go to the stats that I have up here. Where are we at? Here we are. If you don't know, Philadelphia Eagles played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 16-33. You know what I mean? Go through the stats. Jalen Hurts, 18 for 30, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 10 carries, 84 yards, average 8.4. Jalen had 8 carries, 20 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 2 carries, 9 yards. Within the passing game, Dallas Goedert, 7 receptions, 62 yards. Saquon had 2 receptions for 32 yards. Kyle Katerra had 1 reception for 26 yards. Paris Campbell, who had a touchdown, 4 receptions for 17 yards. And Jahan Dotson, 2 receptions for 11 yards. John Ross, 1 reception for 6 yards. Jack Stroll, another tight end of ours, 1 reception for 4 yards. It was a very, 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 not offensive game, not even defensive game. And the game started out very lopsided. One thing I say that we should have expected, we should have known that a Todd Bowles team against Jalen Hurts is going to bring the blitz. That's one thing we know. And I've been saying from week to week that the load on Saquon Barkley has been heavy, but I believe that that's who we should have linked on this game. As much as I was saying, like, yo, he's carrying the brunt too much, this should have been a very run-heavy game. Very much so run-heavy game. I'm talking about, I don't even care if you come in and you just got it in your mind, like, we're going to run 1, 2, 3. Even if on the first down, he get 1 yard or he gets 0 yards. We run in first, second, third. You know what I mean? We had to put it in their mind that you got to slow down the pass rush sometimes, because the pass rush will come in, and if you have a very talented running back like we do in Saquon, you can run past them. As they coming in, you running out. You know what I mean? And it seemed like another day where Kellen Moore just did not want to use Saquon as much as he probably should have had. You know what I'm saying? I know previous weeks I said that his workload was heavy, but even in those weeks, it seemed like later into the game is when he wanted to be heavy on Saquon. It wasn't like early on through the first half you had 16 to 17 carries. A lot of that was like back end. You know what I mean? And with the running back averaging 8.4 yards a carry, we know he did have a long run, but still, it's confusing. For the people that did watch the post game interview, I'm still debating if I want to put that like tie that to the end of this. You know what I mean? The post game interview with that with Nick Sirianni. It's just a head coach, man, that we look at, we scratch our head. Excuse me. We got rid of Doug Peterson for less. You know what I mean? We did. We got rid of Doug Peterson for less when a team that we thought wasn't adequate to be, well, I'm not going to say we thought. Some people, you know what I'm saying, may have had thought that. But at that time, I didn't think that we were a Super Bowl contending team with when we got to the point that we let Doug go. You know what I mean? So this team right here is a Super Bowl contending team with the pieces that we have around it. And Nick Sirianni, to me, is not the coach that, you know what I mean, is going to carry us into that. I think that when we did get there, it was talent over you know what I mean, over the head coach. I think the talent is what carried us to that Super Bowl that year. You know what I mean, with Nick Sirianni. I hope I'm wrong, because you know what I mean. You know what? I'm not gonna say as a head coach. I was about to say as a head coach, you know, I would love for him to stay, but I'm kind of indifferent with that, because let's just pull this up, because I have this right here. I wanted to go through the history of the Philadelphia Eagles head coaches, and the outlining factor within Nick Sirianni is very undisciplined. And when I look through this, the one thing that I can never say about an Eagles head coach is that we were undisciplined. With every head coach, there was discipline that was in place that carried us to certain levels. So of course we know we have Nick Sirianni. He's been here since 2021 to present date. Before him, Doug Peterson, 2016 to 2020. You know what I mean? Our first Super Bowl victory under Doug Peterson. We were a very disciplined team at that time as well. Chip Kelly. If you like Chip Kelly, if you don't like Chip Kelly, there's one thing you cannot say about Chip Kelly, that he did not have his team disciplined. Have it be nutrition, you know what I mean? Have it be in just stamina-wise, by the way he was going to play offense super fast. He was a very disciplined coach on how he wanted things implemented and how he done things. You know what I mean? So Chip Kelly was very disciplined with that. Chip Kelly was, 2013 to 2015. Andy Reid, 1999 to 2012. Listen, we know who Andy Reid is. You know who Big Red is. That goes without saying. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, Big Red was AP Coach of the Year in 2002. Pro Football Weekly Coach of the Year in 2002. Sporting News Coach of the Year in 2000 and 2002. So Andy Reid was a very disciplined head coach. Before him, Ray Rose, 1995, 1998. Now, Ray Rose, a lot of people didn't like him because of, you know, his aggressive, abrasive behavior. I mean, you know what I mean? How he came at people. But it was discipline within that. Ray Rose, AP Coach of the Year in 1995. Sporting News Coach of the Year in 1995. UPI NFC Coach of the Year in 1985. You know what I mean? And then before that, you got Richie Kotite, 1991, 1994. Buddy Ryan, 1986, 1990. You know what I mean? And so one thing I could say about Eagles coaches, we come from a lineage of disciplined head coaches. You know what I mean? And the discipline went from the top down. This team now, when you look at it, we don't have an identity. We are not disciplined. We're not prepared. We go into situations. I was trying to recall, because, you know, I came on here and I gave y'all my prediction. But even in my prediction, I was trying to recall, when was the last time that we really beat the Bucs? We lost to the Bucs last year in the playoffs. The last time we played the Bucs was, I believe, was in the playoffs. We lost them in the playoffs. Like, before, yes, on the playoffs with Tom Brady. We lost them in the playoffs with Baker Mayfield. Todd Bowles, knowingly, you should know this is what he's going to do. And we don't have no Devontae Smith. We have no A.J. Brown. You should just, coming out of last week's win, you should have told, Saquon, rest up. Matter of fact, you ain't even practicing because you're going to have a heavy workload come the game. You ain't practicing. Light practice for you. Walkthroughs and everything. Non-contact, none of that. You rest up and be prepared for this because we're going to lean on you heavily. I saw reports that when the game started, Shipley was supposed to start. I don't know. My Shipley sightings, where was they at? You know what I mean? Where's my Jalen Carter sightings? Like, we went through last week's game where the defensive line was dominant. We're playing a team within the Bucs who Baker Mayfield, I believe, got sacked from Denver 6 times. We don't even touch him barely. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he runs in for a touchdown. You know what I mean? We are a very undisciplined team. You do not. We are Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You don't know what team you're going to get from week to week when it comes to the Eagles, which I believe is upsetting the Eagles fans because that has never been us. Even in losing seasons, we kind of understood what we were. We knew, like, yo, it could even be the defense can't stop the pass, but you know what I mean, we have a run-stopping defense, and that's who we're going to be. And we stopped the run, and teams had to pass on us. And if I mean, we got beat there, but we knew who we were. Now we go from week 2, we stopping the pass. Then we go to another week where we can't stop the pass. We go from a week to where we stopping the run. We go to another week where teams is running on us all day. It is a very confusing thing. I don't know. A lot of people. I watch Rex Ryan. You know what I mean, on his show, and he spoke on the disconnect that he sees with the head coach, and you know what I mean, Jalen Hurts. I don't know how big of a factor that is. You know what I'm saying? If it is, because you know the rumors of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick not getting along. You know what I mean? I don't know where within their career that happened though. I'm pretty sure it didn't happen in the beginning, but I don't know how that fractures the communication between head coach and player. But for whatever reason, man, Jalen Hurts is still. People are trying to figure out, is he regressing or whatever? Is it this, that, and the third? I don't know what it is. I think it's just too much on his mind at the time, and he's just not freely playing football. He overthrowing players, maybe because you hearing everybody talk about all the turnovers. So now you like, I don't want to put in a position where they can't get it, but then that was a position where you can't get it at. You know what I mean? You holding on to the ball too long because you're trying to make sure that this player is open. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to go out there and play freely. You have to go play freely. And a lot of people getting on Jalen about that. One thing I can say about this quarterback pool that me and a couple people that I know spoke about, me and ISO spoke about this as well. This is a quarterback pool where Jalen Hurts can be a top 5 quarterback. And I'm talking about within the quarterbacks now. That's why I always go over to the quarterback stats list. There is no definitive number 2 quarterback now. Like, no, you know what? Let me not say that. The definitive number 2 quarterback may be Lamar Jackson. It's Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. And the only reason I put Lamar Jackson there, no disrespect to him, he's a great hell of an athlete because he has already won 2 MVPs. That's the reason why I put him there as a definitive number 2. Other than that, it's Patrick Mahomes and nobody else. You know what I mean? Some people could say Josh, who's very inconsistent. He'll throw a gang of turnover, a gang of interceptions. One game, just like we saw Sunday, he lost as well, and didn't have a spectacular game like he's been having throughout the season. Some people say Joe Burrow, who, because he was the next valuable thing, and he's struggling coming along. Some people had Justin Herbert up there, now he's struggling. Some people had Trevor Lawrence, now he's struggling. So this quarterback pool, it really is Patrick Mahomes and the field. And that's what it is. It's Patrick Mahomes in the field. And it was just, let me see. I pulled something up. I wanted to go over like the last, let's go over there. Here we go. Just the last couple of Super Bowls that was won. Of course, we know last year Patrick Mahomes won. The year before that was Patrick Mahomes again. 2021, Matthew Stafford won, who is, you could say Matthew Stafford is coming upon his latter years. Tom Brady, a quarterback who's not in the league anymore. Patrick Mahomes again. Tom Brady again, who a quarterback is out. Nick Foles, a quarterback that's not here. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. So over the course from 2015 to today, the only quarterback in the league that is a budding young quarterback that's been winning is Patrick Mahomes. These other guys, the reason why it was so easy for Jalen Hurts to get the big contract is because the flashes of what you've seen that might have had, that could be, which we can still say could be because we don't know that this is what he is. You know what I mean? If Nick Sirianni does lose his job and we bring in another head coach that understands, yo, I need to dial my quarterback back, which he could be holding the ball forever because, like I said, for some odd reason, Jalen Hurts always looks for the touchdown pass. Everything has to be a home run. You know what I mean? If you dial it back, it's weird to me because if you can imitate the Tom Brady blueprint, it can lead to winning. It will help out your defense as well if you don't even have a defense that's good. You eat the clock up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna chop at the bit little by little, eat the clock up, let my defense rest. Then my defense comes on the field. If I did get all the way down there, if I scored or not, we worked our way down the field. Then if we had to punt the ball, they have to come from a further distance to score. Or if we did score, we put them in a position where now they may be pressed to score again. So there is success within the Tom Brady mold, and I think that's something that Patrick Mahomes is taking on now. We knew Patrick Mahomes early in his career to be the home run hitter, and it came so easy because you had somebody like a Tyreek Hill, you had a Travis Kelce over here, you had the pieces that, yo, I can just throw this ball out here, he gonna get it. And now we see Patrick Mahomes. Where did Patrick Mahomes fall within the passing yards? I said. Patrick Mahomes within the passing yards is he out of the top 10? Brock Purdy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's number 9. He's behind Jalen Hurts. So, and I believe last year they led the league in yards after catch. So, him understanding that, yo, I have to take what they get me because this is a game of first downs. Everybody thinks it's a game of touchdowns. It's a game of first downs. The more first downs I accumulate, the easier it is for me to get a touchdown. It's not like we go get touchdowns out the gate. You know what I mean? John Madden said it, he told us this all. Football is a game of inches. So therefore, we have to, inch our way to these first downs. The more first downs we accumulate, the easier it is for us to get the main goal, the touchdown. You don't start out with the main goal, and then, so hopefully we can get somebody in here. Listen, with the team that we got, if we got somebody like a Bill Belichick, that could be helpful for Jalen Hurts. Because we know Bill Belichick gonna come in here prepared. He gonna prepare the defense. We might see a defense that we've never seen before. You know what I mean? We might see a Jalen Hurts that we never seen before because you need somebody that's gonna communicate to the quarterback to let him know you can't do this anymore. We can't see the same things from week to week, and us as fans see it. And the head coaches don't see it, but the head coaches don't say nothing. And we see the same thing week in and week out, and it's like, what are they watching that we ain't watching? Because we all see the issues, we see the problems, but they not addressing it. So, Nick Sirianni, the money that Jeffrey Lurie dished out, the acquisition pieces that Howie Roseman went to get, this is not a season that they're trying to waste. And right now, with us being at 2-2, the NFC standings. In the NFC East, we got the Commanders at number 1 at 3-1. The Cowboys at 2-2. We're tied with us at 2-2. The Giants at 1-3. In the NFC West, the Seahawks lead that division with 3-0. NFC North, the Vikings lead that at 4-0. So, and in the NFC South, the Buccaneers lead that at 3-1. You know what I mean? This is a season that we thought that we would run the NFC. And we still can. I'm not going to say that we can't. We still can. But just the interview with Nick Sirianni didn't sit well with me when he was asked a question about identity, and he said that it's too early. I believe he said, don't quote me. Like I said, I may put that interview at the end. I believe he said that. I don't know how to respond to that. I believe he said that it's too early for me to speak on identity. We're only in week 4, which your team should have an identity from the beginning. There's teams in the league that have identities, just that's who they are. You know what I mean? The Pittsburgh Steelers, they have an identity. The Kansas City Chiefs right now have an identity that follows them from year to year. It's not like every year we recreate the identity that we have with the team. No, year to year we know this team, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to lead this team a certain type of way. And if the game is on the line and Patrick Mahomes got enough time, oh my goodness, we left too much time on the clock. Teams, the identity follows the team. It's not like we recreate identity every year and then week 4, this is who we are. And then, so I don't understand that statement right there. Vic Fangio's defense, you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what they were doing there. It's weird because I don't. It's just weird, man. This team is weird to me. It's weird and it's very unpredictable. But like I said, the bye week is coming up. Could be a great thing for us to just get some things over, or it could be detrimental to us because who knows what can happen next week with other teams gaining ground in a position that we need to, and teams getting better because they're implementing whatever their changes on the field. Like, what changes are we going to make? The reason why I don't feel good with this because I haven't seen the changes and the changes implemented on the field for me to feel like this bye week came up at a good time because these changes are going to be made. This is not an Andy Reid. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Big Red. This is not an Andy Reid's team where we know, yo, coming out of the bye week, Andy Reid is this, that, and the third. I think Andy Reid may only lost one game coming out of the bye week, and that might have been to us last year. I believe when we played, I may be wrong, but I believe when we played Kansas City Chiefs, they were coming out of their bye week, and we beat them in that game. But I may be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I should just pull it up. Andy Reid coming out of bye week. Man, Andy Reid coming out of the bye week is 31-7. You know what I'm saying? 31-7. So I say undefeated. He's lost 7 games. So that means that when he sees his team a certain type of way, even if they winning, I know what changes to make us better. If we're losing, I know what changes to make to get us back on track. So Andy Reid, another disciplined head coach, you know what I'm saying? Knows what to do. I don't have that faith in Nick Sirianni anymore. I don't have that faith in Nick Sirianni to say that coming out of a bye week, he's going to be able to make these changes and we'll be this. I mean, look, coming out of a whole offseason into this season, we didn't really see the changes that we seen came from a player in Saquon Barkley. We didn't see the changes in, you know what, Jalen Hurts is not doing this anymore or he's not doing that. We didn't see that. You know what I mean? So how can I be rest assured that in a week he's gonna make changes when he didn't make any changes in the offseason? I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. I hopefully things can turn around, man. And you know what I mean? We just get back on track. Because for the people that say Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, you can be absolutely right. And for the people that say Jalen, be patient because Jalen Hurts is the guy, you can be absolutely correct. Because once again, this quarterback pool that we have, there is no person that you can definitively say it could be multiple top 5, of active quarterbacks in this league. And they all can be right. It could be somebody saying that is Patrick Mahomes, that better be the only person that you put at number 1 now. If we're going to do that, Patrick Mahomes is the number 1 cemented in there. As far as this goes, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and you can even now, because of what's going on, somebody can even throw in C.J. Stroud. Somebody can throw in Jordan Love. You can throw in those as early as their careers is. You can throw them in there. Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? I even heard, I spoke this to somebody say Aaron Rodgers is the definitive number 2. And as crazy as that is, that a 40-year-old quarterback is number 2, you can be absolutely right. There is nobody that's on a consistent level doing it from week in to week out. The football that I grew up knowing where you knew, oh man, we got Peyton in this week. You know exactly what he's going through. We got Big Ben coming in this week. We know exactly what Ben Roethlisberger is going to do. You got Tom Brady. You got Steve Young, Joe Montana. You knew exactly what those guys are going to do. Now you can have a game and a Josh Allen, and you like, either he going to win big or he going to lose big. You have a game in Joe Burrow. He going to slice you up, or we going to dominate. So, it is what it is, man, Bird Gang. I will be here next week. We will go over this because, like I said, from week to week, Monday, even though it's a bye week, you know what I mean, we still will look at where everybody else stands within the NFC. And we will talk about our upcoming opponent after that. And the upcoming opponent after the bye week should be... What was that? I was just looking at it. Let's see. Where am I at? It's the Browns. Yes. So, coming out of the bye week, we play the Browns. which I mean, the Browns haven't been doing that good this year. So that could be a game that we come out and dominate and give us false hope. It can be a game that comes out and give us false hope. You know what I mean? Because then after that we play the Giants in New York. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a game Saquon probably gonna want to go off on. But yeah, it'll be a game against the Browns. I don't know what the Browns will do. What is the Browns' record to this point right now? Let's see where the Browns are at. The Browns are 1-3. See, so that's what I'm saying. They on a 2-game losing streak. So you know that could be a game we come out and dominate, and you get the fans all riled up and excited again. But it could be false hope. You know what I mean? Because we can definitely win that game and then go play the Giants, and the G-Men can have the same exact type of game that they had against the Cowboys, but instead of the field goals, they scoring on us and they dominate that game. You know what I mean? Because our division actually is tougher than I thought it was going to be. It's very shout out to Jaden Daniels who's emerging to be a valuable quarterback in this league, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. So. You know what I mean? Consistency is a big thing that definitely the players have to take part of. But within leaving, man, let's listen to this Jalen Hurts post-game press conference. You know what I'm saying? Let's check this out. Watch this together.
Can you take us through the fumble? I mean, it's 3 watch it probably, but what do you think happened on that play?
I think overall, I just have to play better. I got to play better. We have a ton of opportunities to lead the offense and really play complementary ball, and it starts with me on that side of the ball. And I would get down like we did. I have to help the defense out, executing, communicating. The things that I'm seeing on the field, and just trying to really create the momentum that we need just to get in the end zone. It starts with me in terms of getting in the end zone and leading drives, and I didn't do a good enough job with that.
I know you don't want to make excuses, but when you don't have Devontae and AJ, how much does it limit you guys?
I didn't play good enough. That's what it comes down to. We have opportunities. It's put a lot of time in this week to take advantage of this game and what we had and the guys that we had a lot of trust in, and we took advantage of some and some we didn't. But ultimately, it starts with me.
When you avoid a rusher, does your internal clock have to change, knowing that he's still somewhere in the pocket?
I'm sorry?
When you avoid a rusher like you did on the strip sack, does your internal clock have to change a little bit, knowing that there's at least one body in the area?
I think it's a matter of being decisive and knowing exactly what you're about to do. I think if we get that ball off, we have an opportunity to grant Calcaterra down the middle of the field. Just didn't end up having enough time in that situation. So.
It's 4 games now without a first quarter point. What needs to be done to start quicker in these games?
I got to start fast. I have to play better.
Are there kind of threads in those games that are problems that are stepping up their lead for this?
Well, if I can pinpoint that.
So we're talking to a lot of different guys that just on Coach Brandon. What is the message in your mind that needs to be expressed to this team right now?
Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. We've experienced different adversities. Just have to continue to learn from these moments. That's been the takeaway from every game that we played. We got high aspirations as a football team. We've grown together, and we'll have different adversities that will challenge us, and we just got to continue to grow and learn from everything we experience.
On the first play of the game, I recognize it's easy for me to ask this from this side of the podium, but did you think you had Saquon there on that play?
I had an opportunity to him for sure. Didn't make it go the way.
Dallas said that this team needs to find its identity during this week and the next week. Do you agree? Do you think this team has an identity, or do you think you need to develop it still?
I think there are a lot of teams in this point of the season that don't really have an identity. I think we're still trying to figure that out. I think it's challenging when you've had different moving pieces throughout in that. And so, given the opportunities you have, it was truly a so what now what mentality, and that's the approach that I've had. I just don't think I've been good enough in those areas there isn't a doubt of anyone who steps on that field in terms of opportunity. We got to give guys opportunities and put guys in positions to be successful. And I have to play point out there and distribute it, really run the show and lead the charge offensively, and as a team. And I got to be better at that.
How difficult is it when you have, like you mentioned, all these new faces, in the huddle, pretty much for the last 3 weeks, and just dealing with all that kind of adversity?
Yeah, I don't look at it as a difficulty. It's something that's different, something that you adjust to. And I had a ton of confidence in the guys we had going out there today. I just, I don't think I did enough. I clearly didn't do enough. You can point fingers wherever, but, I own all of that. I touch the ball every play, and I take pride in it.
I know you guys didn't have a lot of. What's your process when it comes to correcting a turnover? I know immediately after a play you're analyzing, but how soon do you return to it after a game? How do you
I look at how and why. There are a ton of different things that go into it. Ultimately, the goal is to protect the ball. That's the goal. I think there have been a ton of different situations where different things have come up, and then they've all kind of been different in a sense. But you just have to learn from them all.
This is an early bye week. Will you approach this differently? How will you approach it the next however many days before you get back to practice?
I just assess these first 4 games. Obviously, everyone get healthy and continue to press on and move forward.
With the turnovers, you're among the leaders this year and last year, which is different from the earlier parts of your career. How do you kind of process that, and what would be the operation this week to help get that fixed?
Yeah, I got to be better. That's the only thing I can say. I got to be better. I think things will be better once we establish our identity for ourselves, and we're trying to figure that out.
Did you take time to talk with the players as a team after the game, like you did after the Falcons loss?
BG actually took the throne and had great words, and everybody he led that charge. Everybody said something in between time, but everybody understands that we're gonna do this together. We went out there and we didn't do good enough as a team, and that's led by me. I didn't do good enough for me. I'm in my position, and so we just have to learn from it.
How's the game plan affected or changed when you're down 24-0 road?
It's just a matter of responding, really, reacting to what's going on. You have different things in the flow of a game when you go in and say, I'm going to attack a team like this, but ultimately you got to go out there and play ball, have a feel for the game and what they're doing, and I think we just all have to be better with that, starting with me.
You said a few times that you have to play better. What's at the top of your list right now to improve?
Production. I think production. Taking care of the ball. And just the efficiency. We have to put points on the board. That starts with me.
Nick, you and Nick are obviously big voices on the team as head coach and the quarterback. As you enter the bye and you want to find an identity, do you two talk about maybe what you want the message to be to the team, or how you kind of want to handle as you guys go into the second part of the year?
We have our moments.
What's your plan for bye week?
I don't know yet.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That was that, man.
What do you?
That was that. You know what I mean? So that was Jalen Hurts. After that loss, man. Like you said, they got to do better. Jalen Hurts right now, 9th straight game with the turnover. 27 turnovers over the last 2 years, most in the NFL. I don't know if we got to replace Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, or maybe even both. But, this definitely don't look like the Eagles team that I know y'all used to, or that I'm used to either. Even with or without a quarterback. We've had multiple years we haven't had a top tier quarterback, but our defense was on par, or we just knew that we was a running team and we did that. And maybe the identity of this team, even though they say today's game is a passing game, we the running team, and we just do that. We do whatever works for us. But Bird Gang, until next time, this has been another episode of Bird's Eye View. Breakdown. Thank y'all for being here, man. We appreciate y'all. And remember, this is powered by the expansion team, which you can see here, on this channel as well. And they go over every game of the week and give you their betting odds. You know what I'm saying? If you're a bettor as well, so check them out. You know what I mean? This has been Birds Eye Breakdown. Peace, y'all. EAGLES. Go Bird. Bird Gang all day.